Ready, here we go. All right. Good evening, everyone. Today is Monday, November 14th. We're at the Council on Aging, and we're opening the Board of Selectmen's meeting. Present are
Selectman Joes.
Lisa Pacheco.
Paul Sadek,
Jackie Lee, Town Administrator.
Alec Oates. And Ms. Jones.
she hates to say her name, but she's the backbone behind the operation. All right, anybody recording the meeting tonight?
Pre-cam.
Anybody else? All right. So, we have on the agenda tonight at 6:15 a public hearing regarding a Class 2 motor vehicle dealer's license, basic equipment, basic used cars and trucks at 39 Middleborough Road. That's going to be at 6:15. So, rather than kill 15 minutes, we'll start into the consent agenda. First thing is a discussion and vote to approve the water and the sewer agreement once it's been approved by the city of Fall River.
Want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, let's talk about it. Let me find my sheet here, because I'm going out of order. All right, today I contacted Terry Sullivan, who's in charge of the Fall River Water and Sewer Department, to determine what stage of approval the two agreements were in at Fall River. We had met with Fall River, probably about 4 weeks ago, and we finally worked out an agreement between Fall River and the town of Freetown that was, in our opinion, the people that were negotiating it felt was a very fair agreement. And that has been processed through the Freetown Water and Sewer Department. It was voted by the Water and Sewer Commissioners to approve that and pass it on to the Board of Selectmen. It's on our agenda tonight. I talked to Terry this morning, and he said that on Thursday, November 10th, the Water Commission for the City of Fall River approved the water agreement. This coming Wednesday, the 16th, the Sewer Commission is scheduled to review and approve the sewer agreement. Once that's done, it's going to go to the Mayor and the City Council for consideration and signature. Both agreements, they're hoping to get to the November 22nd meeting, if scheduling permits. Otherwise, it's going to be on their December 13th meeting. After their approval and their signature, is going to come back to Freetown for us to sign, because the Water and Sewer Commission already took the vote. If we take a vote to approve it, and we all got copies of it, then we don't have to have another meeting to sign it. We can just do it tonight.
Okay.
So that's where we stand with that. So what is...
I'll make a motion to sign once approved by Fall River City Council for both water and sewer.
I'll second.
Okay, motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That takes care of a long process.
And once that's all signed off, if anybody wants to read it, out in the general public, I think that it'll be available for anybody to read.
And it's a 20-year
20-year agreement.
Agreement with Fall River. All right, the next thing on the agenda is to approve the Board of Selectmen's meeting for October 18th and October 26th.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Glad the chief just walked in. I just saw him walk in. Discuss Circle K request to be opened to open up on Christmas and New Year's. Based on correspondence that we received from the chief earlier, I guess the state of Massachusetts has to approve the opening under the blue laws for certain holidays, and they are not approving it for Thanksgiving or Christmas.
That's correct. However, there are exemptions. There are 55 exemptions for retail, and Circle K would fall under one of the retail actually two of the retail exemptions. One is they sell food wares or foodstuffs, and they have less than 3 employees. And the other exemption is retail sale of fuel, gasoline. So Circle K would be exempt from having to close on Thanksgiving and Christmas.
So they can just arbitrarily open if they want to?
Yes.
Without any approval from the board or from you?
Well, unless there are particular licenses that the board has issued. I mean, you can always
Say no alcohol.
place restrictions, etc.
Is this a voluntary holiday or a non-voluntary employee holiday?
I'm not familiar with, time and a half, employees, et cetera. I just was looking at specifically whether or not they were entitled to open.
If in the future the town decided that they didn't, just throwing this out there, and this is just me thinking, wanted to put a bylaw in place to insist that retail establishments close on Christmas and New Year's Day, is that something a bylaw could take care of?
It might conflict with the state law, but you might want to look at the avenue of placing any restrictions on licenses that people have.
That's a good idea, thank you.
Carlton, I guess that what surprised me tonight is that this is different than what the email that I had read earlier from you.
Yeah,
What happened?
there was a little confusion about whether the exemptions allow you to operate on Sunday and on specific restricted holidays such as Thanksgiving and Christmas. And Ally and I clarified that today with the Department of Labor standards. The exemptions allow you not only to open and operate on a Sunday, but also Thanksgiving and Christmas.
But when the holiday falls on a Sunday and it's actually celebrated on the Monday, what happens to that Monday?
It's the Sunday that's observed for the holiday, I believe. But it's irrelevant because they're entitled to be open anyway.
All right.
Then there's a whole list of
There's no reason
non-retail.
for us to even discuss this, because
Based on the
Unless you want to
information
put a
we have.
restriction on-
Yeah, they are applying for a permit, so we could put a restriction on
I just thought it was.
if the board so feels.
Yeah, I mean, I thought, the way I understood what was transmitted to us for our meeting was that the state said they couldn't open, they weren't gonna deal with
That
Thanksgiving.
was our,
Christmas.
excuse me, that was our original understanding, that after we clarified that they fell within one of the, well, actually, 2 of the 55 exemptions, and we contacted the Department of Labor Statistics.
And they have more than 3, they have less than 3 employees, 3 or less employees?
Yeah, for the sale of foodstuffs, sale of retail foodstuffs, and less than 3 employees on the premises.
This is East Freetown
On the premises.
on the premises, at any one time. Okay. All right, so there's no need for us to even talk about it, I guess.
No, unless the board wants to put a restriction that they would open up for food and fuel only.
Are we allowed to put time restrictions? Or is it unrestricted?
You know what I think? I think that we should look at this further, and if we can, and we decide to put restrictions on it, and we can put time restrictions on it as well, I think we should put that on for the next meeting.
To me, I'd rather see a time restriction than what they sell restriction.
Okay, I'll
Because
go with that.
that's more,
All right, let's put it on the agenda for the next meeting. All right, because I wasn't gonna have any issue with New Year's,
Go
but
ahead. What?
do we want a clarification? No, I'm more thinking Thanksgiving and Christmas.
that's what I was thinking. I thought we didn't have to deal with it because the state was gonna restrict it.
Right.
That's the
Yeah.
information we had first. Now, there's exemptions.
Should we get a clarification from somebody, whether it's...
Yeah, let's ask for a clarification if we can put a restriction, any restrictions on it, be it the hours of operation and what they can and cannot sell, be it alcohol.
We put it off for the next meeting,
Yeah.
which will be after Thanksgiving, by the way. November
They're
28th.
only asking for Christmas and New Year's, not Thanksgiving.
Oh, Thanksgiving's not included.
No,
Oh, it's on here, though.
I thought I saw Thanksgiving.
it's not on my agenda.
No, I thought it was in the, I thought.
No, it was in the...
Wasn't it in the email or something?
Yeah.
I thought it was in the email.
On my agenda, it says Christmas and New Year's. Is that changed, Ally? Did they ask for Thanksgiving as
No,
well?
they're not asking.
Maybe I read into that,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So let's just make sure that we have that on the agenda for our next meeting, and we'll talk about Christmas and New Year's at that time. And Carlton and Ally, if you guys can weigh in on that, that would be great.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right, what time is it? Well, we got
Got
time
5
for this.
minutes.
You got time to talk to us about the health, about the insurance information?
Yeah. The board has seen the insurance, the recommendation is that the town hall be insured for flood, potential flood damage. And the building at 500,000, and the contents at 125,000. The basic premium would be 11,991, and the total premium 14,153. If you have been following the news lately, there's some interesting effects of global warming rather, and there are issues with regard to higher tides than usual. And while we haven't had any water damage that I know of in recent years, we have a lot of things in the basement. We should probably be thinking about getting raised up a little bit. And so we asked for a quote from our insurance company, because you've never had flood insurance. We are in a flood zone at the town hall. So there you have it. It's the board's pleasure. We would have to go to the finance committee if we wanted to incur this expense.
What was the purpose? I guess my question is, why did this come up? Because
We had our annual review with the insurance company.
yeah, and they're recommending that to us?
Yeah. But we asked them to quote on what the insurance would cost, the flood insurance would cost for that building.
Well, we were pretty lucky, because the last time we had the 100-year flood,
It was not a drop of water.
there wasn't a drop of water in the town hall, thank God. Maybe if the dam had broken, we would have had water.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Want to continue with our luck?
I,
Gentlemen in the audience.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman.
Joel Plessy, Middleborough Road. Can I make a suggestion? You might talk to some of the older people in town that are older than me. The high water mark in 1955 was halfway up the wall on the fire station and the whole bottom floor of Reinhagen's Market at the time, and I don't believe there was any water in the town hall.
According to our historical commission chairman, she states that, to her knowledge, the town hall's never been flooded in her life.
yeah.
I'm not saying she's older than you, and
No, we
I don't want to say
went
anything very,
together.
it's very important to this, but
She's watching you.
she did state that when we were talking about this earlier, that
Same age, but she's got older brothers.
she does.
I say let's hold off on that. I don't think it's anything that we need to do right now. I'm not saying that in the future we don't look at it, like when we roll it into our annual insurance premiums, but I don't really think that's anything that we need to take a look at right now.
I agree with it. This is something we should maybe look at going into the next budget cycle.
Okay. Review in the next cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if I was betting, I would be betting on not getting water in the basement.
I agree.
Wouldn't hurt to raise the stuff up in the basement, but I don't think the
Absolutely.
first floor is in any danger.
I think most of it has been raised up, at least the height of a pallet, you know?
Right, and now with the new buildings and the way we're gonna be looking at things, we may be moving some of that stuff out of there into another building, so it'll be way up, so, okay.
All right, so we're getting to be almost 1:15. We got a minute to go, so I don't think we should go into anything else. All right.
So how about that game last night?
Hey,
I
I'm a
stayed up
Dolphins
too.
fan.
I was like,
You're what?
I'm a Dolphins fan, so I really don't care. We're terrible every year.
hey,
can we make sure that
This
we
the-
look for a new
there's the door. There's the door.
We're good in the flood, too.
You should have threw at the end of the game, right on the 1 yard line.
I don't get it. I don't get
Somebody should have told them that that's not a
it. There
good
was
idea.
a lot of miscues yesterday.
Luckily, it wasn't intercepted right on the goal line at the end of the game.
Oh,
Would-
Playing
that would have
Seattle.
been, that would have been, although Bob was crazy the Cowboys Steelers game, because he's a Cowboys fan, so he was going nuts, and then all of a sudden I look over, second quarter of the Patriots game, and he's snoring. I go, you go back upstairs, get out of here right now.
You must have knew something we didn't know at that time. Huh? All right, it's 6:15, and this is, we're going to open up a public hearing to consider the Class 2 motor vehicle dealer's license for basic equipment, basic used cars, and trucks for a site at 39 Middleborough Road. the notice that went out. Notice is hereby given that Connie De Silva of 120 Lexington Avenue, North Dartmouth, Mass. has filed an application for a Class II motor vehicle dealer's license for a site at 39 Middleborough Road to be known as Basic Equipment Incorporated. Basic used cars, trucks, and equipment. The public hearing is to consider the above, and it's going to be held today, of course, at 6:15. All right. Abutters were notified. A number of letters went out. I'm going to first read the ones that received the letter, and we get the copy of the green card back. Frank Ashley, Jr., Velma Dunham, Paul P. Beverly A. Lord, David and Paul Montero, Michael Nolan, Olivera Brothers Material, LLC, Olivera Brothers Material, LLC, Joel Plissy, Jason Shepherd, Michael St. Don. Also, letters went out, but we did not get the green card back, which would indicate that the individuals haven't picked up their mail. Mark Ambrose, Zachary and Ashley Mo DeMello, Richard and Carol Claremont, and Armin Claremont.
And for the record, we have one abutter present, correct?
Actually, 3,
Okay, thank you.
4.
Okay, so anybody who's here regarding this problem? Can you get up and give your name, please?
I am Connie Silva.
Okay, you're the lady that's asking for the license.
Yes, I am.
Your name,
We're
sir?
looking for a transfer. James Boutre, Jimmy's Used Cars.
And you used to own the property, or you,
Yeah, for 40 years.
long time? All right. Get this stuff organized here before I mess things up. Hey, anybody want to speak about this, other than, you can sit down, man. Your butters want to talk about this a little bit?
Joel and Sandra Plissy, butters at 80 County Road, 43 Middleborough Road, 45, and 49. My only comment is that if they are as considerate as Mr. Poutre has been through the years with noise and hours of operation and so forth, I'd be happy to welcome a new neighbor. My wife, I'm sure, will have her own comments.
Aw.
Go ahead, Sid.
Well, I'm just wondering how many trucks are gonna be there? How many trucks you propose are gonna be there?
It's not gonna be a lot of trucks going in and out. It's what you see in the yard, roughly.
So why don't you explain the business a little bit about what your proposal is
Okay.
and what you're
That would be
asking for,
better.
so we would understand that better.
I have equipment, as of everybody that goes by, you'll see it there, that there's trucks there, that I'm having it to be able to sell them in a property.
So it's an auto sales, truck sale,
Yes.
equipment sale
Yes.
area, okay?
Mhm.
And how many trucks or cars or vehicles on the
Well, I'm
property?
not sure how.
You're
I
not
don't-
sure of what you're
There's
asking
about
for?
45 there
Yeah,
right
about
now.
45 there.
I think you're looking for a maximum of 50.
Well, when I got my license, Junior Resendes gave me an unrestricted used car lot.
Yeah, the good old days are gone.
Pardon?
The good old days are gone.
Yeah, but I got proof here of over 160 cars and trucks and sweepers that I had there. That's why I brought these pictures in.
Okay.
And I've never had a complaint in the town with anything. I've been very considerate of my neighbors, and I'm looking for unrestricted for these people.
Okay, Mr. Poutre, we had our building agent go out to look at the property and he spoke with you, ma'am.
Yes.
And he sent us an email today. He said, I completed a site visit at 39 Middleborough Road. The building department would like the board to know that the applicant deals in used semi-tractor trailer trucks and cars and pickup trucks. We would recommend 50 vehicles be allowed on the site based on the yard size that's available. The land also has a two-family house, which it owns, and with a single driveway in the rear of the property. So the recommendation from our building commissioner is that we limit it to 50 vehicles.
I don't know if that's gonna work for these people, if they got 45 there now and 20 used cars. I got the pictures here showing you what I had there in the past. You'd like to see them.
If any of the board members, I
Yeah,
mean,
you
I
can
live
bring 'em
right
up.
near there, so I know what you had, Jim.
Is there hours of operation?
Right now, that's gonna be mostly roughly what Mr. Butcher had there before. There's no changes on hours of operation.
What were your hours, Jim, so for the record?
My hours were 9 to 5,
Okay.
Monday through Friday,
including Saturdays.
9 to 5 on Saturday.
But not
Yeah.
Sunday?
No, you did
Well,
open Sunday.
I cut my hours back because of my health, but luckily I found somebody to purchase the property. And when I had advertised it through the broker, I said unlimited license, because that's what I had. And it shows you right there, almost 200 vehicles I had on the property. There's 3.5 acres there.
Did you segregate the parking areas for the people that live on that property?
Yeah, right in front of the house, two parking places. And she don't put any trailer trucks by them, we're giving them a clear open space.
In your space, yes.
Are they gonna have separate access in and out from
Yeah,
the road?
the gates will be open, they can go that way, or there's a side road to the north of the driveway that's capable of taking an oil truck up, anything.
Well, I'm more concerned about them being able to access their property and then fire apparatus, emergency apparatus, be able to get to them in case of emergency. And that's a two-family there?
Yes.
What are the abutters? Could I ask you what your feelings are?
Well, I think it would have been nicer if they had come to us before it came to our hearing. But when they bring a truck in, because Mr. Poutre never had a lot of trucks like there is there now. And when they bring them in with a huge wrecker, and I can hear the jake brake all the way to the point coming down with these trucks to go into their yard. It's not her fault, but in a roundabout way it is, because she's got these huge, they're about the size of big wheels, big tractor trailers, trucks bringing them in, wreckers. But, I mean, I don't see whether she's going to have much more room to put anything on the other side of the gate. She's got more room to put her stuff inside the gate. But he never had huge trucks. He always had pickup trucks and,
I had 20 street sweepers that were pretty big.
yeah, but you didn't have trucks like these.
And the good thing about it is, he don't have to do any three-point turns, because I have a sliding gate, so they just drive in. It's not
Right.
like disrupting traffic on Route 18. They just can slide right in. But there has been big wreckers bringing them from where they had them, but that's gonna not continue.
Correct, that's done. We're done with those.
I don't even think that's an issue if it's during the day. It's just that if it's 9, 10 o'clock
Oh,
at night, and,
No, that's not gonna happen,
my opinion.
yeah.
Are you
I understand.
selling just tractors? Are you selling trailers also? Are you selling non-registrable vehicles, heavy equipment like excavators, bulldozers,
No, not
front-end
ex-
loaders?
no.
What is your business plan exactly?
What it is?
Yeah.
It's selling the equipment that I have, the tractor trailers, like, they said they've seen them moving in, planning on selling those, and the cars, and a few trailers that I have,
And half a dozen cars.
yeah.
So when you say equipment, you mean what?
Not heavy, no bulldozers, nothing like that.
Not heavy equipment?
No, just a tractor trailer, that's it.
You currently have a place that you operate out of?
I was in New Bedford, but I had to move out of there, and I've been looking for a place that
Whereabouts in New Bedford?
I was at Building 19, the old Building 19 parking lot there, looking for a place that I could make my, a home and sell, get my business
But you
going.
were gonna go on Ridge Hill Road, but that fell through?
That was a long time ago, yes.
Yeah. I
Yes.
think I remember.
Are you gonna do repairs on these vehicles on your site?
There is a little garage there for the cars.
What about the trucks?
No.
Did you do repairs there?
Yes,
Your own work, or did you sub out?
just my own work.
You had a big building there before the fire.
Yeah, it burned down in a fire 12 years ago or so.
Been that long, huh?
Yeah, it's gone by fast. And it was 40 by 80 building. I end up with a little tin building now. which I made a mistake, I should have put the big building back. But, as I said, I've had health problems for the last 6 years, and it's not getting better. I kinda hate to get out of there, but it's just, everything has its time. I went to a meeting with you people a year and a half ago. Paul Bourgeois was still on the town, and you assured me it'd be not a problem.
Well, it wasn't with me.
It was more than a year and a half ago, because Paul hasn't been here for 3 years,
It's been 3 years, he was at the meeting, so I guess it's been 3 years.
maybe even 4,
Yeah, Paul hasn't been here for quite a long time.
yeah.
I mean, I know the site, I know how big it is. I mean, certainly I think 100 cars, 100 vehicles could easily fit in there myself. That's my opinion.
When you say 100, you're talking all kinds of vehicles, or are you talking?
100, all kinds of vehicles, yeah, a combination of whatever she
Okay.
sells, yeah.
I mean, 100 trailer trucks
That's a lot.
is a
There's a
lot.
lot.
You're selling you're not selling trailers, are you, or
She
just
said
cabs?
both. I asked that.
She said,
Yes,
Well,
I
you
have
try-
I have a few trailers that I wanna get rid of.
Yeah, I don't think you have, that's,
Right, they're 55 feet,
yeah,
53 feet long.
yeah.
No, they're not 53s, I have 20s and 40s.
That's the box,
Yeah,
plus the cab, you gotta add the cab to it.
right, well, yeah.
So he's right on the money. Well, it's up to the board.
How about a limit of 50 cars and probably 50 tractor units?
Yeah, that's fair.
See, tractor units don't take up a lot of room, so that's not a concern.
Once I get rid of the ones I have, I'm not gonna be getting any more, so it'll just be mostly cars,
Cars and trucks,
you know.
pickup trucks.
Pickup trucks.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I meant by passenger vehicles,
Yeah.
pickup trucks, not tractors and trailers. Trailers take up the most room.
so no more than 100 vehicles at any one time, and no more than,
50.
out of that 100, no more than 50 tractor trailers.
Okay.
That's
Sounds
right.
fair,
In aggregate.
I would like to hear unlimited, but
I don't think you're gonna hear that tonight.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
you're not, the thing is that if we, back in the day, when there was no zoning or anything else, I think that unrestricted went along with what was going on in town, and now that we have zoning, and even though you are zoned the appropriate way, I think that we have to pay more attention to what our neighbors want in order to live harmoniously.
that seems fair what the gentleman just said.
50 tractor/trailers aggregate, so you can have 25 and 25, you can have 49 tractors and one trailer,
But no more than 100 vehicles in one.
no more than 100 vehicles total.
Sounds really workable.
Yeah, and when you start selling off the trailers that you have,
You can
And
always
you can
have.
replace it, you can replace them with cars. So you're
Correct.
not gonna have an issue.
Exactly.
On operational hours,
It'll be roughly like 9 to 5.
9 to 5?
Mhm.
Okay, and.
Monday through Saturday, no
Yes.
Sunday.
No Sunday.
Mhm.
Is that good for the abutters that came?
Yeah, I didn't want to stop them from doing it anyway. I just want to know what's going on.
No deliveries after 5 either, so
Correct.
delivery hours, our operational hours, 9 to 5 is
9 to 5.
operation, when you need to get vehicles brought in, it's between 9 to 5.
Correct.
Same thing with mechanic operations, 9 to 5.
9 to 5, yes.
Sounds good. All right,
I'm good
you
with
gonna
it.
make that as a motion?
I make that as a motion.
I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good to go.
Thank you very much.
We'll sign the
Thank
permit. We're gonna make the adjustments on the permit based on the motion.
Right.
And at some point, we'll get it all signed off and you're good to go anyway.
All right,
Thank
thank you
you
very
so
much.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next meeting, yeah, we too.
All right, what we got next? He must have been here with them. Maybe All right, next thing on the agenda, to discuss a letter that was submitted by the planning board.
I think she left her purse.
Ooh,
Oh,
Kevin, thank you.
first snatcher.
It's not ticking.
I'm
is it?
taking a picture.
Don't rifle through that, Kevin.
It's not ticking. Unattended bags, we should evacuate.
Carlton.
No, just put a dive on it, Carlton.
It's not his hours of operation.
Let me find out where I am here.
Well, I came here for a reason.
Save the day.
Did all that, did all
You're a heck of a guy.
Like a role play on
that. Play tonight.
Seems the giant.
Okay, next thing on the agenda is the planning board made a request asking the board of selectmen to consider 940 CMR 29-.10, giving public bodies the ability to participate remotely as defined in Mass General Law, Chapter 4, Section 7. I know that this came up before the board a couple of years ago, and I do want to say that at that time we voted no, because you cannot do it for one department. It has to be across the board for all committees and departments when they have meetings. So I'll open it up for any discussion.
I just feel, I know you're not gonna like this, I just feel like it's such an, I think that if you care enough that you would be at the meeting if there was something that you really want to be involved in. And I know that there are times and circumstances where work keeps you away or a vacation or whatever, and that there are important things to get done, but at the same time, you need to work around that. And I feel like the town puts their trust in us to be at a meeting, to talk amongst ourselves. I think it misses a whole aspect of a meeting doing it remotely. That's my feeling.
What I can speak to this, and I'm not going to vote on it, being on the planning board and being part of the vote for the submission, but what I can speak on, the reason why the planning board put this forward was you still need a physical quorum to have the meeting. Remote does not disqualify a quorum, so if you don't have the minimum amount of people physically there, you can't have the meeting. Where this does help is supermajorities. When it's a 4-5 vote on the board, as long as you have a 3-member quorum present, we can still vote on the 4-5. The other thing it helps is we have a lot of time deadlines on the planning board where submissions come in, we have 21 days to act. It's not something you can put off. It's granted by administrative appeal if you don't act. So that's why the planning board put this forward. I have no opinion one way or the other how the board should vote, and I am going to abstain from the vote.
My opinion on this thing is that I agree 100% with Lisa, is that people elect you to do a job. If you're willing to run and you're willing to accept your position, you should do the position in person. And I think that if you can't approve this for one body, you have to approve it across the board for the town, and there's no way you can control this. My opinion is that you get elected, or you're appointed to a committee that you want to be appointed to, you should show up. I mean, sometimes any one of us may not want to come to a meeting, so that means I could stay home and be eating peanuts, watching TV, and answering questions for the meeting, and I just don't think that's right. That's my opinion.
I agree, but I don't think anybody would abuse the power, but there's no way to protect against the abuse of power.
Absolutely.
And so, I don't know, that's how I feel. So I feel like we should take no action. That's my opinion. We can either vote on it or take no action.
Well, I think I'll make a motion if you want to, that the town, again, votes not to adopt this provision.
I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And Mr. Joe's abstained because he is a member of the planning board. All right. Next thing, approve abatement as submitted by the fire chief. This is the abatement for the ambulance service, and for the month of October, the figure from our town accountant is $23,109.90.
Make a motion to approve in the amount of $23,109.90.
Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, going down the line. The next thing on the agenda is an agreement made with Kelly Engineering to begin the site evaluation of the property that the town owns to determine what buildings can go on this property. The property is basically located right around here where we are. Chase Road and Memorial Drive, that property runs towards the highway department. So we're here to approve the contract with Kelly Engineering so we can begin the analysis of the property.
Yep, I've worked with Mark Rich and also Kelly Engineering. There were actually no major revisions of this at all, so it's, they're all set with it. And all we need is a signature and an agreement from the town. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, we're ready to roll.
There we go.
I'm so excited right now. I can hardly contain myself.
Oh, she's jumping for joy. Watch out, everybody.
This is when they do a breakout in song.
I might even put my boots and parker on and be walking the site.
Well, you're gonna, oh, by the way,
Oh, jeez,
wait a minute,
forget
wait a minute, I'm
that.
glad you mentioned that.
I might be having a hot flash right
I'm
now.
glad you mentioned that. Where is it? Under what? Under new business?
Well, that's a
Next
ways
Sunday,
away.
next Sunday, you'll be walking with us.
Oh, November 20th?
You're not on vacation. We gotta go walking. Soil
What time?
inspection, soil board inspection, 9 o'clock in the morning.
So early.
We'll see if
Better
she,
bring the hot chocolate.
I thought you were buying it, Dunkin' Donuts. Okay, what do we got next?
That's the youngest one.
All
The
right.
baby gets to buy.
Oh,
Yeah.
The newest guy buys, huh?
I'd buy.
Approve and sign the road opening permit for XL Recycling at 17 Ridge Hill Road. This request by XL Recycling, they're putting in a 8-inch water line that comes from their property all the way down and ties in to the water line at Ridge Hill Road. They need to get approval from the Board of Selectmen to open the road. And that's what that's about.
How will this affect the water agreement? Will it help the water agreement? Because the more water we get, the better the rate, correct?
The more water that we use, the rates go down.
So this will help the water agreement?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I just want to make sure it doesn't hurt the agreement.
No, this helps the agreement.
Okay.
So what's the board's,
Make a motion to endorse.
Second with discussion.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
What is the status of this facility right now? Does anybody know?
The status of the facility?
Yeah.
If I knew you were gonna ask that question, I would've had them come in. I don't think it's my responsibility to say what the status is. The water commissioners did ask them, and they are in the process right now of pretty well finalizing this with all the abutters.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried about the,
Oh.
I'm more, the facility itself.
They're not operating yet, are they?
They're not,
They're-
that's what
no,
I'm
no,
saying, like, they're
they
not
cannot-
operating.
Oh, no.
They don't have a license.
They don't have a license, plus they're waiting, they've got some type of agreement that's being signed with the neighbors and everything else.
Okay.
Okay?
Oh, they worked something out?
That's the way I understand it.
Jack, they know they don't have a license?
They do
Jack?
know, I told them they can have a
Okay,
license.
all right, wasn't sure, because
Right.
I didn't understand. Okay.
Because the license expired.
Well, the license
They never
that
got
The
one.
initial license,
that
peddlers,
we were approved was supposed to continue to December, but
by state statute.
state statute, that particular type of organization, it ends on, was it May 30th? May 30th?
Yeah.
Right.
So,
So do they come in now in December for renewal? Or do they come in May, or do
No,
they
no,
apply?
I talked to Ally, she said she sent out the notifications for December. If they come in and approve, and get an approval for December, it goes until May of next year, then they gotta come in again and get another one. But I don't know, if they haven't got, if they're not ready to operate, I don't know why they would come in, because
Right.
Right, they don't need to until
they
they're
don't
ready
need
to
to until
open.
they're ready to operate.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna take a vote on that.
Yeah.
Motion made in second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then we have another road opening permit for gas service at 137 Dr. Brady Road. There's a couple of new houses that went up just before the, well, actually, I think one's in Rochester and one's in Freetown, and I guess they're gonna put gas service there. So I need a motion for that.
Make a motion to approve.
Excuse me. Second.
Motion made in second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, the next thing on the agenda, when I read this, I gotta defer this to the town administrator. Signed 2016 snowplow contract. What do we got to do with this?
You got the snowplow contract with the number, what, 18? Is that the right number?
16.
16?
How many did we have last year?
Like 42?
Any of these multiples? In other words, putting on more than one vehicle?
Yeah, some of them are.
Yeah, that's 16, that's counting.
That's
16
six,
counting.
'cause I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, there's 13 different names. So there's got, and there's 16, so somebody's got either 2, 3, or whatever.
Correct.
Are the contracts still coming in?
Not over the 16, you have, that's why you have 16 to,
Yeah, nobody have,
Number
do
13.
you think, does you think, is it gonna be any more people?
I hope so.
Okay, yeah, all right. All right, so what's the pleasure?
And everything's all set, they're happy with everything, we're happy with the way things went.
The
Okay.
ones that we have so far.
All right, I'll make a motion to sign.
Second.
Motion made and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Sign the reduction of the surety bond amount planning board is holding for Holly Ridge.
Can you explain that to me?
What this is, and this is different from the last one, I wasn't at this meeting and didn't have any input on this meeting. So what this is, the planning board holds a surety to complete the project. The engineer goes out, our engineer goes out, and basically comes up with a punch list of what needs to be done to finish the project to specs for the highway to take over and for the town to accept the roads, including sidewalks, curbings, condition of the asphalt. Normally a binder coat goes down first, and then when they get closer, they put a top coat down, a couple more inches of asphalt. I'll make sure all the drainage is in spec. The cost that the engineer comes up with, we hold a surety against that, so if the project doesn't go to completion, we can cash that surety in and finish the project for the contractor, so that way the people that already purchased the property aren't aggrieved by the lack of finishing it. He's done a lot of work there, so it appears that the planning board had their engineer go out and reassess, and this would be the engineer's reassessment, plus usually about a 10% above that case values go up. So that's pretty much what the surety being dropped signifies.
There's still people in that development, I don't know if anybody knows this or not, but I will tell you, there's still people in that development with new houses that do not have potable water. Yes. Their wells are not working properly, and the contractor doesn't have any more money to fix. They've never had potable water since the day they moved in. So,
This isn't for that.
I know, I'm just saying that, does this mean he'll get some money back and we'll be able to fix some of the problems with some of those neighbors?
No,
Because
this is more, usually most people have property is held as surety, so a lot that'll have 50 subdivision lot, we'll come up with a number, say $500,000, they'll put in 5 lots, figuring they're $100,000 a piece, they'll hold 5 lots in surety, while the town will hold 5 lots in surety, that if we had to, we could take over and sell. There is the option to have a cash surety or a bond and surety. I believe these were held in property sureties. They have 4 they to pick from. They get to choose which surety type they want to post to the town. The town doesn't get to choose which one it wants to hold.
okay,
So, but this does not affect that. This is more, like I said, roadway
more about
conditions.
the roadway conditions, I knew that, but I didn't know if this would allow him, by getting some of this money back, to fix
This
some
will
of the
allow
other
him to sell more
problems.
lots, which hopefully he would put into,
Fixing the
Right.
problems instead of being on the brand-new homeowners that haven't had water since they moved in.
correct. And the building department shouldn't issue an occupancy permit if they don't have potable water.
Interesting, okay.
So what's your pleasure?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, motion made and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, next thing, vote on holiday hours for town offices the day after Thanksgiving. In the past, we have allowed employees to take a day off at their own expense, vacation day. So, and keep the town hall not open to the public. Anybody that didn't want to take a vacation day came in and worked in the town hall on their regular work, but not open to the public. That's what we've done.
Yep, I'll make a motion to approve that.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll vote on the Christmas party for town hall and make sure that Kevin is in charge of it, as well as Ally.
They have no right to refuse. Yeah. All right, so you made, that's a motion?
Yep.
Is there a second?
Lobster and
Oh.
Goldberg and.
Paid for by the selectmen.
You gotta pay for it out of your pocket, you know. So watch out, there's a second?
Imitation lobster.
No. There's no second?
No, they can fight amongst themselves who they have to appoint to be the
Oh,
chair.
yeah, that's
Oh,
fine.
oh.
They're already
Well,
in
you're
charge,
no-
I already
you're no-
know
you're
that.
no-
Ally's already in charge.
She's in charge of everything.
And she gets Kevin involved, so it's all
That's
good.
it.
So, does anybody have any idea when it's gonna be?
I think it's gonna be the second day of Thanksgiving. Did you say when it's gonna be?
The day after Thanksgiving?
The Christmas party?
You know, the holiday party, not Christmas party.
No, it's a Christmas party.
Oh, Christmas party.
That's right.
Okay,
Do you wanna do it on the December 21st?
what is that?
It's a Wednesday?
Fine with me.
It's okay with me.
Close from 12 to 2?
What did we do last year? We changed it, didn't we?
Oh, we did it from 12, 2 to 4.
2 to 4, yeah.
And then no one had to go back after, so you wanna do it that way? Is that better?
Two to
Yeah,
four is good.
let's do it.
That's better.
All right, so we need to have a motion.
I made that motion.
Did you?
For that date, I second the motion for that date.
You got for that day.
I'm just saying,
But dates as specified
yeah,
by.
no. If they have to
Administrative
change, if
secretary.
they have to change the date, they have to change the date. I just vote on having a Christmas party for town offices and having Ally direct it.
Yeah. Oh, and had like directed.
All right, motion made and second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, other thing done. All right, I'm gonna turn this one over to the Personnel Board Chairman.
Oh, Jesus.
This is to sign a memorandum of agreement with the fire department.
So, we met with the fire department, this is just, an update of that, of allowing the fire department, to use their sick leave, to assist, just firefighter Jeff Brum, who is not able to work at this point, due to a medical issue. So they're able to use some of their sick time and donate it to him. It does have a limit, it ends, on June 30th, 2018. And this is just inclusive of, for Jeff Brum. What's the board's pleasure?
Now, when we originally had discussed it, we had said June 30th, 2017. So this is gonna be actually a year and,
Yes.
okay. And any idea how many hours we're talking on, what that equates to?
I think it was 200,
2,000?
2,000 rather. But, the way things are going right now, he's hoping to be back to work long before that.
Oh, I hope so. Okay.
So, is there?
And this is only in effect as long as people keep donating their hours, correct?
Correct.
Right.
Once the donations stop,
Right. He can't force them to donate their hours. Once this donation stops, then it's done.
once the bank runs
Once
to zero,
once the-
then it's over.
Yeah.
Now is it gonna come back in front of the board for consideration of,
I guess it could,
procedures
but
at
right
that point?
now, but, I don't see that happening. You never can say never, but,
right, I'm just looking for, to make sure we are covered everywhere. Okay.
yep, he's if you know, as you go through it, he's unable to work, they've come
Right.
together. Some of these men have hundreds and hundreds of hours, and it would be better served. They're not gonna see that money, it's better served giving it to somebody that's in need right now.
So in essence, if we agree to this, basically, the town shall allow the fellow firefighters, including management, to transfer their unused sick days for the benefit of Jeff Brum while he's unable to work. Jeff Brum shall be allowed to use these transfer sick days to be paid while he is unable to work. Parties agree to discuss any issues which shall arise regarding the transfer of these sick days in order to effectuate this agreement. In essence, the guys came together and said, listen, hopefully if something happened to us, our fellow firefighters would help us out, and that's what these guys want to do.
And this is gonna be at Jeff Brum's rate of pay, not,
Correct.
Right.
Right.
I'll make a motion to endorse.
Do I have a second?
You have a second, of course.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
And of course, you know, we want to see him back healthy and as soon as possible, so,
He's doing a little bit better, isn't he?
yeah.
All right. Mr. Healy,
Yes,
Town Administrator's Report.
I've got two things I wanted to share with you. Pass those down. And the first is an email that came in on Friday from Jeff Walker, who is the Executive Director of the Southeast Regional Planning and Economic Development District. He writes, I know a number of communities have previously inquired, expressed interest in, or otherwise voiced concerns about the possibility of accessing casino mitigation funds /technical assistance, especially given the current uncertain status of the Taunton facility. And I wanted to pass along the following draft guidelines just released by the Mass Gaming Commission. Now, we were talking about this in the office today, and I thought that Freetown had indicated an interest in being recognized as an affected community some time ago. Is that correct?
That is very true.
Yes. Okay. So, in regard to that, I'll just ask you to read this over, and if we could put it back on the agenda for your next meeting. Maybe you have some suggestions as to what you want me to convey to Mr. Walker. All right?
Okay.
And the second,
So you gave us homework.
I did.
Right.
Is that all right?
Yeah. Until we give you some
Yeah,
homework.
there you go. And this is an update on the American project, which is the 52-acre former Boston beer site in the industrial park that has been closed on now. American is planning a medical marijuana grow facility, as you know. And it's been getting some press of late because they closed on the property. And I got this information from this fancy thing on top, at least, from Mr. Keogh, Tim Keogh. And he also told me that there, last week that they would be, a week before last, I guess now, that they would be breaking ground within 3 months. And the first phase is 120 to 130,000 square feet. As you know, we have a host community agreement with the company that they'll pay full boat taxes, no pilot, no tax deals, and that they'll also pay $1 per square foot per year of the facility as it builds out. And that gets revisited every 5 years under the agreement, and the consumer price index would be looked to increase the amount being paid each year. At full build-out, we're talking about close to 1 million square foot of facility at $1 a year. You can do the math. That's going to help a lot in terms of all the things that we need to do looking forward in terms of building projects and whatnot. So I thought you'd be interested in reading that.
Can I? Right, so with the recent passage of the question 4, I think that it's time, it would behoove this board and for this town to start to put together our task force again, which we were supposed to do a while ago, because if regulations, Lauren Moreau let us know that if regulations are not established by January 1st of 2018, that medical marijuana American can also become a retail outlet if we don't put anything into play.
No,
Their agreement
They're
specifically
not gonna be a
says they
dispensary.
cannot.
But they can't, I know, but they could spawn off and right next door put, from what I understand from Warren, and it doesn't matter if it's American or something else, that, I think that the town needs to stop thinking about where we want those facilities.
Well, we did change zoning, so
Yeah.
it is zoned by right use in industrial two.
That's it, that's the only place,
That's
the
the
town
only
already
place.
has that zoning in.
Right.
Plus, American can't do anything other than what they're doing in the contract.
Right, they're not a dispensary.
No,
And
no.
by a dispensary can, if by 2000, you're right, January 1st, 2018, a
Right.
dispensary has the right, if the mechanism is not put in by the state, to also sell recreational marijuana.
Correct.
Right. But under their contract with us, they cannot.
They're not a dispensary.
They're not a dispensary. So they
Okay.
can't do it. But that doesn't
Doesn't
stop
stop
somebody
another
else coming up to
dispensary.
go up in the same area.
Right.
That's
Right
the
next
different
door.
ballgame. Right.
Right.
Also, in
So-
the question 4 was the town can levy a separate sales tax up
Mhm.
to 2%. So that's something we might want to consider also, is whether we want to exercise our option to exercise a separate sales tax.
Based on our bylaw, people
Well,
are pretty well limited to that area. They can't go
I
anywhere
too,
else.
is only right now.
Really? Because it says in here, zoning is not addressed as the measure seeks to regulate marijuana like alcohol. So its issuances will be on licenses rather than where they're located.
On the law, because the law doesn't specifically speak to
Right, but
zoning.
we could.
We've already done it.
We've only allowed them in those zoned areas
That's it. It's the only place.
As
they
a
can go.
retail outlet
as a retail outlet.
Yeah.
or as a medical, because now it's gonna be totally different. You may have zoned for medical marijuana, but you have not zoned for retail marijuana, because I don't think that was on anybody's radar at the time.
Okay,
We'll
so
have
you're,
to- we'll have to look back and see what the
So
bylaw
I
says.
totally think that medical, our retail outlets are gonna be licensed like, just like
Ice cream shops.
well, not really, junk dealers licenses or alcohol licenses. So those little retail shops can show up anywhere, and I think that when you talk about zoning for medical marijuana, yeah, that's totally different than retail outlets.
I think zoning could be put in the same,
I think that we'd have to look at it, and I think that that's
Um,
why the task force would be
because
ready.
even any other outlet, like a donut shop, can only go by our bylaws in certain areas. You can't
In
put them in
certain-
residential, so we could still zone them
You could still,
Into
exactly, but
what
I'm,
areas you want them in.
but their licenses, so we can have, how many licenses can we have in town for alcohol right now?
9,
I have to look at that.
I think it's either 8 or 9,
1 per 1,000.
right? So
And that's a minimum of 10% of your alcohol licenses you have to issue. So what's
So
up
there
with
are-
2 licenses?
right, so there could be one on one each side of
Minimum.
town. Minimum, right, so I mean, those
There's a
are
cap though? There's a cap for these
There's
establishments?
a floor, not a cap,
not a cap.
a floor.
Now, you already have a task force.
No, we started talking about that a long time ago. We would have been way above the curve, but we thought that this was put to bed, sort of, so it didn't go anywhere. But I think that,
You want to form a new one then?
I think we need to. I think that I know, Paul, we'll put you in charge of it. You'll have plenty of time. I just think that, you know what, January, everybody's like, oh, it's not here until January 1st, or, oh, it'll never be passed in town. Yeah, well, it's passed, number one, and number two, you know, we don't want the state to tell us how we should do it. I think that if we come up with our own protective authorities in town, then we should be able to.
Can we get a copy of the bylaw as it states now for zoning, so that way we can see what we have on the books and maybe mirror something?
Jackie just sent out a copy of the updated bylaws that got approved by the Attorney General, so she sent us a new package of what we can do.
Carlton, do you have anything to add?
No, I have to actually look at the language of the initiative petition and try to find out what regulations are going to be proposed, whether they would be consistent or inconsistent with what we would have, whether we would, since this will be a highly regulated area, the state may actually preempt any local.
Well, I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about retail outlets.
Yeah.
I'm not, this is pretty much a done deal. I'm just talking, and I know that you've had time to look this over, so I'm not even talking about American. I'm talking about going down the road, whatever, retail outlets, or, I think I think you're gonna see a lot of people wanna come forward and wanting to get in on the ground floor. So, thanks, Jack, can you put that together? Thanks.
How many people in the task force?
I don't care. You.
Oh, keep it small.
Yeah, let's not go
Another
crazy.
15,
I definitely
17
say
minute
you,
board.
I definitely say Carlton or somebody from the police department. Absolutely, you know, town administrator, one of the board. I don't think, if somebody from the planning board or Lauren, I think that that's important, so. I don't think it has to be crazy big, but I think it needs to, because whatever you do, you're gonna have to bring it back to town meeting for approval anyway.
We want something in place, I think.
Yeah.
Because you hit it right on the head, this is for medical marijuana. Now here comes the retail shops that you have to consider what's going on.
Okay.
All right, you all set?
Yes, sir.
The chairman of the Board of Health, Bob Jones, you're up next.
Chairman of the Board of Health. In the past, one of the members had requested an update on the Chipaway Road situation. So I asked the health agent, Kevin Bernardo, to come in, and I asked him what the state of the property was and where we are in enforcement. And Kevin, I'll let you speak to that.
As for the rubbish on the property, I'm happy to say that it has been removed. The owner is in compliance. No further action is required on that part. I did submit to the board a brief statement from Lisa Badowski, as well as the zoning official, building inspector. I don't know if you would like to read that.
Asking Lisa, Lisa's working today. She has no updates at this point. She has turned it over to MSPCA, and they are monitoring the horse. They don't feel that they need to take any action at this time. I guess the condition of the horse has improved greatly. They have a regular feeding schedule, and MSPCA has enforced that and made some spot visits. We also asked Scott Bernardo, Barbado, American in English. Scott Barbado, his response was the building department wrote a citation for $50 to Mr. Winsper. The citation was for more than 2 vehicles unregistered at the property. After close examination, the bylaws and the consultation with Mr. Bernardo, spelled incorrectly, we have determined the 2 recreational trailers are enforceable for removal, and 3 other motor vehicles. This department will follow up criminal complaint due to the owner's failure to appear at the clerk magistrate's hearing. Sincerely, Scott Barbado.
So there was actually 5 vehicles, unregistered vehicles. He informed the owner. He said he's working with them to remove that. If not, he's going to proceed with the criminal complaint.
And the animal, I mean, I know Lisa said she's turned it over to the state at this time, but they
For
do.
myself, we removed all the debris that was on the ground.
Yep.
And the piles of rubbish that the animal could get stuck on or get hurt has been removed. It took a little bit of time to get them to comply, but
And the stable was unstable. Is it better now?
the building inspector would have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did speak to that on this,
Okay. I'll talk.
which I did ask him about that, but he didn't speak to it at all on this. I wanted to make sure it wasn't a collapse failure. He did say, did he say it was propped up? Because I had a conversation with him a while back. And
He had made them
Joyce,
secure.
Shore it up.
Yeah,
It's still small though.
sure.
My feeling is that you guys, you've done a wonderful job and the property is better. I'm feeling that when we turn our back on this, this will all turn around again.
Yes.
And part of me now says, I do want to turn my back on this and see, because that animal, again, he's not gonna feed that animal. I know it, I've seen it, so,
I think MSPCA will follow steps,
I don't know.
There.
That animal was still really thin.
But
like
we have
really-
no authority. In other words,
We
I mean,
do,
Emmett, we do.
yeah, right, Carlton?
To take the animal?
If I saw the animal, if I went and I reported the animal as basically
Neglected or abused, yeah.
If an enforcing official believes that the animal had been neglected or injured in any type, and criminal charges could be brought.
Why don't we put Lisa, ask Lisa Podolsky, the animal officer, to appear at the next meeting, and,
I can talk to her. You want her to appear?
if you have a question, we'll put it in front of the board.
It's fine.
We'll have her appear at the next meeting and see exactly where she is and where MSPCA is.
My understanding is after reading her email, was that they referred to MSPCA. They came in a couple of times, and they said the horse improved, and they weren't gonna bring any charges against the
Correct.
individual. So you're
was a while
surprising me
ago.
by saying that we can bring charges.
Yeah, he said that, Carlton said that the last time too.
So why don't we just do it? I mean, if you're an enforcing official, you're a health agent.
I think the next time I go by and I see the horse looking in that
I
condition.
think you'd have to clarify who the lead agency is. If MSAP is the lead agency in handling the situation, you wouldn't try to, usurp their authority. You work as a
They've
team.
already said that they're not gonna bring charges.
Right, and I think that
Because the horse is improving. I mean, we've got it in writing.
Oh,
So I don't know where, this surprises me. I mean, if we can do it,
right, and I think that, like I said to you, or whatever, I think that if, once he knows, everybody, he's not gonna watch us, but he knows that we're watching. If you don't watch anymore,
We took the necessary steps.
right,
To seek compliance, we issued the citations, we went to clerk magistrate hearings.
yeah, I think it's all great
And
steps.
and at that time, when he complied, we just dropped it.
Well, now we're
They're
gonna
kind of
get the
necessary
vehicles
steps
on
in
there.
Absolutely.
the process.
Yeah,
So, like I said, why don't we have Lisa come in next time, she can speak to where we are with them more directly. And if you wanna take action at that time, and she concurs, then we will.
Can we ask that if she can
Have them come
encourage
too?
the MSPCA to come in here with us?
Have an agent, absolutely, that'd be great.
You know,
And I think you'll see a big improvement when he gets those vehicles out of there too.
well, that's another
Yeah.
important thing
He's
too.
gotta either pick,
Which
now
you
he can
want.
keep both trailers and get rid of the 3 vehicles, or whatever it is, a combination, he can have 2.
Is there any, do they live in those trailers at all?
No, no.
For sure, we
One of
know
them,
that.
yeah, one of them is actually take, on the other side, he took all the material off it,
Okay,
There's-
so,
siding and everything.
there's no
Nobody living.
running water there, so when they
Yeah.
come to feed the horse, they have to actually bring in jugs of water. There's nothing there.
The house has been vacated
Yeah,
since the
since the
fire,
fire.
7 years, I think.
Yeah. Where does he live? Do we know where the guy lives?
New Bedford, I believe.
So he can't take the horse to where he lives. That's the issue. Why doesn't he just give the horse away?
It's ridiculous, and now it's gonna be winter, and,
Yeah,
are the chickens still there too?
there is, yeah.
That could be something we look into in the future. If you don't live there, you can't have your
Yeah,
animals
we
there.
actually had one time where on County Road, the building inspector, we always do the animal inspections together, well, all 3 of us, the building inspector, the animal control, and myself. There was an individual that wanted to have animals on a small piece of property that wasn't buildable, but he lived in 2 towns over. We had told him, we want you kind of close by.
Yeah, I think
And
that
this
we
is the
have to
same
look at
case. We
that.
don't know if the guy comes by or not, or. We want that person to be there.
Yeah, I don't wanna be
Westport's
the
the
next
island.
Westport.
Yeah, right.
I don't wanna be the next
Exact-
Westport.
Right, exactly.
And really, all it
Let's
takes
find
is
out what
one
they're doing.
person to call and say, can you believe this person has a horse here and no running water, and he doesn't even live here, and he had a fire, and look at this place. I'm glad that we're taking the steps, I'm glad that you're taking lead on this and doing what you need to do to ensure that that horse is safe and whatever else is on that property, but it's ridiculous. But anyway.
I've got a relationship with the police chief and the guys that have been working on that Westport case. I'm sure by now they've come up with some kind of regulations to prevent that from happening again in Westport. I'll contact them.
Yeah, that's great,
How's his taxes?
on time.
They're on time?
Oh, I don't know if they're on
Yeah.
time, but,
I believe the bank is paying them.
oh.
The bank owns the property?
Do they
See,
know there's an animal on the property that's being neglected?
Ooh, if the bank owns the property, they may not want.
If I may,
yeah, you may.
this individual had stated, we're giving him a hard time because he owes taxes. And I inquired how much taxes, and they said it's paid, up to date, the bank is paying it.
See, that
She
was
doesn't
my
even
question.
know,
Well, is the paying
Because I
owner,
think
or are
it's-
they
I
just
think there's
paying
still
his
co-
escrow?
I think, yeah, the escrow, because
Well, then he's paying
Because of
it
the
then.
fire, I think.
He's paying
Yeah.
it. If it's
Oh,
escrow,
if
he's
it's,
paying it.
well, that would be.
I'm not sure
that would-
exactly,
that
but
would
it's
be
up to
good
date.
be- that would be good to find out, if it's escrow or if the bank is paying it because they took over the property.
Yeah, you gotta find, that's easy, go to the assessor's office, find out who owns the property.
All right.
I can inquire tomorrow, just to
Yeah,
make sure.
let's double check on that. All right. Thanks, Mr. Joes.
Mr. Joe, is there anything else?
That is
Thanks,
all
Kevin.
we have.
Anything about mosquitoes or anything?
No, the mosquito population is down. We got the worst finally, so
Yeah.
we're in good shape.
All right.
Just if I may, we're posting weekly updates on our Facebook page. This week was the flu.
So you like the Facebook page?
I like it.
And you think it was a great idea?
Great idea. So we
wait a minute.
Everyone.
I wanna get this on camera. I'm gonna pat him on the back for doing such a great job.
it's a good way to get information out, and I like it. It's a good tool.
It's working so far?
Perfect.
I think Tim's doing a great job.
Yes, really good
Oh,
job.
sure. Shine the light on Tim.
There you go. The spotlight's on
We
you.
need a close-up of that guy over the
No, you don't need a close-up. Holy mackerel.
All right. We're done with Facebook now for a while?
Not on the agenda.
Well, you'll be on there tonight.
I don't know, I never look at Facebook.
It'll be the cover photo.
Yeah, there you go. You wanna break the camera? All right.
Good night.
Thank
Guess
you.
what?
Good night.
Oh, you're not gonna stay for the rest of the meeting?
Right now.
All right, Lisa Pacheco, the chairman of the Personnel Board, has a ton of stuff. to talk about.
Yeah, but I'm gonna ask the board if we can bring up, the bottom of the barrel, the last thing that we have here to talk about first, and then that way Carlton can get on his way. So, if the board doesn't mind,
Who's the bottom of the barrel?
You're in charge.
no, the last person on the list,
Should we
sign
have-
change of status for Kara.
Should we have the police chief
Yes.
come up here?
Bye, guys,
There's
drive
two
safe.
from-
Thanks. Oh, finance.
Why don't we do the one before that first, if you don't mind?
Dorothy?
No, Lewis Alves. Do you have one?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. It's your prerogative, you're the chair.
Well, that's what he just told me, but you just took over.
No, I was asking if we could take over. Sure, probably don't like my Facebook either.
So I have an appointment slip for Lewis Alves, Reserve Officer, effective November 7th, 2016.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
All right.
Okay. Is there anything else you
No,
want?
that was all I was asking. Thank you very much.
You're so welcome. Carlton?
Okay, so Kara Pigeon had served as an on-call reserve officer, and we had anticipated her attending the police academy that was started on October 31st, and based upon our belief that she'd be attending the academy, the board appointed her as a student officer to be effective on October 31st, the first day of the academy. Unfortunately, she's unable to attend the academy, so she cannot be a student officer, because the only way you can be a student officer is to actually be enrolled in the police academy. So the document you see in front of you reflects a rescission of that student officer appointment.
So when is the next academy, and is she, like, when's the next academy?
Next academy, let's see,
This is.
probably April or May,
Okay.
yes.
Are we still short a person where she didn't go?
Yes.
Can we assign her to the 40-hour reserve, since she's gonna be the next one around?
Well, you can, but I think that you may want to talk to council first about entering to an understanding that whatever action we take won't have certain types of ramifications.
What do we do with other people when they're ready to go to the academy?
What do you mean?
Do we put other people on 40 hours?
Yeah, whoever was the top scorer
Right.
would be put on 40 hours
Right.
for the academy. But I would just caution, we probably just want to talk to our attorney, because we may we may have some leverage in this.
Leverage regarding what?
The action in Boston against the town.
Okay.
I think that'd be discussed in executive session
Yes.
if we needed to do that.
And the other thing is, if we're going down this road, we need a backup, we need a list established, so that if she is unsuccessful for any reason, we have somebody else to immediately take that position in the academy.
For the record, the reason that Kara is not going to the academy was not a fault of her own.
No, it wasn't her fault.
Okay.
It was a policy of the academy,
Policy of the
a
academy.
regulation that they have.
Kind of like have conflicting documents.
Okay.
So you're advising us to contact what attorney?
I would contact the insurance,
Not Joe Fair?
No. I've already talked to Joe, and he's guided me toward her.
What's that person's name, that attorney?
Regina Ryan.
Ryan?
Ryan, all right, R-Y-A-N.
Got it. So what does the board want to do, I guess, huh?
We can't do anything right now.
No, well, we can effect this change and put her as a reserve,
Yeah.
because that we have to do, whether, what position,
Right, we
what
have-
capacity of, number of hours,
Right.
that's not now. I'll make the motion to sign the change of status from student police officer P1 rate to reserve police officer, 2346 down to 1968.
Do you have a second?
Yes, second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks. Okay, next. Kimberly Fails, contractual salary increase, from 36.15, well, I'm going in,
Oh,
I
okay, yeah,
mine
yeah, I
on
got it,
here.
that's okay.
36.15 to 37.21.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Contract.
It's contractual.
It's
Yep.
contractual. All those in favor?
Aye.
Sorry.
You gonna do Kimberly Trails again?
Yeah, I'll do Kimberly Fields. To carry over unused sick time, it's documented in our contract that she can only carry over no more than 30 days at any time throughout her contract. She has 62 hours of unused sick time, and she wants to be able to carry those over to the next contract year.
How many days is that?
She get,
Are we gonna
30.
keep it running total? Okay.
She gets 30. No more than that, it's in her contract.
Right,
So
no,
10 days per year.
She's
She
carrying
has 10 days
62
per
hours
year.
over, I was just
Yeah.
trying to do the math.
Yeah. I'll make a motion to approve that.
Second.
Sign the contract.
Up to 30.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Now we can go in order. So, we'll wait on that one. Are we going to executive session?
It was on the agenda.
We're going to executive session for the next one. right?
Yeah.
So we can do the
Reappoint,
first one, right? You can do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
reappoint Elizabeth Ashley to the Cultural Council effective November 14th, 2016.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Appoint Lauren Moreau as Soil Board Clerk effective November 14th, 2016.
Isn't that the thing we have to go in the executive?
Yeah. Do you want to hold off on it?
We'll have to go in the executive session.
How,
Well, we can appoint her to the
we
soil
can
board.
appoint her and then.
Okay, all right.
All right,
I'll make
and,
that,
and then we don't have to come out after and do it.
okay, I can make that motion.
Yeah,
Go.
yeah.
Okay, I'll make
Second.
that motion, okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we already did Lewis. We already did that. Appoint Gary Martin to the Finance Committee effective November 14th, 2016.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I also heard today that there's somebody else that's gonna send something in to you, Ally, some lady from Bullock Road,
Board, board.
Finance Committee. That would bring her up to full complement.
Bullock.
Good.
Who's that?
I can't remember her name.
Excuse me, Nikki Castlegate, I think it is.
That's the lady.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar. I know that name.
She works down boat ramp.
Okay. Accept letter of resignation from Raymond Rodricks from the Board of Registrars.
Motion to accept.
Second.
All in favor?
All right, can we send them
And
a
also-
letter saying, thank you, Kim?
Yeah. And also, we should have probably done the first one first. Accept Nadine's letter of resignation from the soil board, effective, well, she quit a long time ago.
Regret.
Yeah.
That's what I get. I said to her, did I tell you
Thanks.
the story about that? I sent an email about, we gotta get these things out, right? And so she responds. And I said, oh, we're on the way. So next time I went into the town hall, I said, hey, so you're getting ready to do that? She says, no, I'm not doing it anymore. What do you mean? She says, you didn't read the first sentence. She has too much to do. She said that she's working in the evenings at another place.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. All right, and request for the Conservation Commission to make special municipal
Did
employees.
we?
I thought we already did
we
that.
move Nadine? Did we actually move to accept her resignation?
Oh, maybe not, we were talking,
I'll make
sorry.
the motion to accept her resignation.
With regret, second.
With regret, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh, look at you, keeping me on my toes over here.
Somebody has to
She
watch
has to
it.
stay on, you're forced on.
Somebody has to watch it.
Request from the Conservation Commission to make them special municipal employees. I thought we already did that.
No, we
Did it
did
for
that
planning.
I know we did for planning, but I thought we did
Why would we
conservation
wanna do
too.
this for them?
I thought we did it for conservation too, because I thought we said that's coming up next anyway.
No,
No?
we didn't. I mean, don't you think they should come in here and explain why they want this?
We
Just
can-
so members of the board can approach other boards and represent
Do
themselves.
we have a letter?
That's what special employees are.
I know, but do we have a letter
You had a short letter in here somewhere.
just saying the same thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it.
You don't have a problem with that?
No.
All right.
No, I'd make a motion to accept, to allow.
Do you have a second?
Yeah, I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Approve bereavement request from Dorothy Stanley Ballard. I was away on vacation.
Her
So-
sister passed away.
Okay.
She's entitled to 5 paid days, because it's a sister, I believe she's 5 paid days, is that correct?
No. It's not, she's not, that's not a contract position.
It's not.
It's a bylaw.
Here it is, right
You
here.
got it, thanks.
Thanks to Ally.
Leave with pay may be granted to permanent, full-time, and permanent part-time employees in continuous service who are regularly scheduled for a minimum of 20 hours a week for death in the immediate family, for jury duty, military training with National Guard or Reserve unit, or for any other unavoidable absence from assigned duty as may be determined by the board. All such leaves are subject to board's approval. I think we need to make sure that we put this in the bylaw.
What's she asking for?
2 weeks.
She wants to be away unpaid for 2 weeks.
She wants 2 weeks, whether it's paid or not, she
Right.
needs 2 weeks according to her.
Right, and
So
she-
she's asking for absence for 2 weeks.
Right, plus she's asking isn't she asking for bereavement?
She doesn't specify the time she needs for it.
I'm not sure how much bereavement time that I am entitled to. And
What
specifically,
is this? Oh,
no, this is
I
the
know.
article.
I know,
I
but
thought I read something about that today when I was doing all my
I'm gonna
prep
look
work.
in here what we have of other people.
What do contract people get, Ally?
I think it's 2 or 3 days.
Right here.
That's
Two,
where I saw it.
no more than 2 calendar days for brothers,
In-laws, if you read
sister-in-laws,
above it.
okay,
yeah.
and
Immediate
above it
family.
says immediate, family.
Yeah.
Up higher, it's way up top.
Five calendar days.
That's where I read it.
So I wouldn't give her any more than we do for a contract employee, if that's what,
That's what, well, that's, I knew I read
that's
it
a
somewhere.
contract employee.
Well, I personally think we ought to give her 2 days paid bereavement and allow her to take the 2 weeks if that's what she needs, unpaid. Because I think that's what, she's asking for 2 weeks unpaid, and she doesn't know how much she's entitled to for bereavement. She's not entitled to anything under the bylaw unless the board approves it. Now, certainly, we could approve 2 or 3 days.
Right.
We don't want to be,
I think what Lisa was saying, contract employees are 5 days, immediate
but
family.
she's not a contract
She is
employee.
not, correct.
Right.
Okay, but I'm not, but I don't think, in her case, we should go any higher than what we should give her, in my opinion, we should give her what the people that are in the union get, okay? which I
True.
think is 2 or 3 days.
Do you know that, Ally?
And it's on a case-by-case basis anyway. But I don't have any issue with approving the whole 2 weeks off. But
No, I
not with
mean,
pay.
neither
I
do
don't-
I. I don't
I
think that's
don't-
the issue.
yeah.
It's how many days are paid
paid.
is the issue.
You have
I'll look it up. I think it's, for sister, I think it might be 2.
2 days? She's got the contract issue.
Okay. All right, so we'll hold off on
Wait, is that the last thing we have?
that.
or-
Yeah. We can go to new business.
All right, I got some new business stuff.
Okay.
All right, we'll come back to that
Yeah,
decision
once
as
we
soon as
know.
we get some
Okay.
figures here. Under new business, we got a letter in today, and this was late, this afternoon, I'm gonna read it, just to keep the board informed. It says, "Dear Chairman Sadik, this is from the town of Lakeville. This regards the agreement between Lakeville and Freetown for the Lakeville Animal Shelter. Dear Chairman Sadik, in December, the Lakeville Board of Selectmen will be discussing the renewal of the contract between the town of Lakeville and Freetown regarding utilizing the Lakeville Animal Shelter for housing spayed and surrendered Freetown dogs. If you are not interested in renewing this contract, please notify us by email." And they give an email address, "no later than December 7th. If we do not hear back from you, we will assume that Freetown would like to renew the contract and will forward the contract for your review and signature. If you have any questions, please contact Tracy, Craig, McGee." All right, and I think after that, somewhere, and I probably don't have the email with me,
Yeah, Lisa said that she was all right with that.
Lisa Podolsky, the animal control officer, said she was good with this. So, should we don't want to notify them,
No
right?
action.
Oh, no action, okay, so in that case,
Table veto.
we'll let that contract go into effect.
Yes.
Okay, also, came in late this afternoon from Xfinity. And in our efforts to keep the Board of Selectmen in the various towns informed, on December 1st, NECN HD will move from channel 810 to channel 840. Now, I don't know if that's a typo, but 810, NECN HD is 809 on my TV.
It is, mine too.
And then it says WBTS TV High Def will be added to channel 810. WBTS TV Cozy TV will be added to channel 935. Bloomberg High Def will move from channel 916 to 844. On December 30th, WWDP TV will move from channel 10 to channel 81. And WBTS TV will be added to channel 10. Starting January 1st, 2017, any NBC TV network programming will be broadcast on WBTS TV and WBTS TV High Def. On January 12th, Impact Network will be replacing the Word Network on channel 236 on the digital performance tier. That's it. Everybody wrote that down as I was talking about that. You have all the data. And we have a letter from our town clerk, Jackie Brown. There is currently a Republican vacancy that exists on the Board of Registrars. If you'd be interested in serving on the board, please submit a letter of intent to Jackie Brown, Town Clerk, Post Office Box 438, Assonet, Mass. 02702. If you have any questions or need further information, you can call 508-644-2201, and when it answers, punch in 2, and you'll get the town clerk's office. The Board of Registrars meets at the town clerk's office for final voter registration before elections and town meetings, usually from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. To check in voters at the town meeting and to take part in election recounts that might occur. This is a paid position at $10.25 an hour. Requirements: you must be a resident of Freetown, have been enrolled as a Republican for a period of 2 years or more, and must have your own transportation. I'm assuming that Jackie will put this on our website. All right. Now, what else do we have?
I think Ally has
Ally must have an answer.
It's 3 days. Additional days may be given at the discretion of the town administrator.
That's.
3 additional days?
It's 3 days, and
3
then
days.
any additional days may be given.
On
at
on the employee contract?
Mhm.
Okay. I'll make a motion to give her 3 paid days and allow her to have her 2 weeks off without, the
Second.
rest of it without pay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Are you done, Miss?
I'm done, mister.
Miss Pacheco? All right. Dates of upcoming board meetings. November 28th, December 12th, January 9th, and January 23rd.
Yippee.
Sounds good.
Okay. And we're gonna, we would like to schedule soil board inspections for Sunday, next Sunday, which is what date? God, Ellie, I don't have my calendar. Huh?
The 20th.
The 20th, at
Yes,
9
it's the
AM.
20th.
We'll meet at the town hall,
9 AM.
9 AM.
Where are we
Is the sun
going?
up by 9?
The sun is, the sun is up.
Probably.
Hey, come on, you got a business, don't tell me you're not up at 6 in the morning.
Where are we going?
Where are we going?
All of them?
Yeah,
We do them all in one day?
yeah.
Are we done by 1 o'clock?
Oh, we'll be done by,
Yeah, I'm going to,
wait a minute.
Nashville?
no. No, we're going to,
Another,
Gillette.
another vacation?
You got a football game that day?
No, they're away, but
I
they're
was gonna
doing
say.
they're doing the open house for the fans, for the people that have, tickets. So, something like that, I don't know.
Here's what will happen.
I'm going.
She's just gonna come to the inspections. We'll probably get the first 3 done, and she'll say, oh, I gotta get going.
Gotta
So
go.
she'll beat feet, and you and I, Kevin Dismaris,
Again, this should be done in
So
the
you and
spring
Kevin
when
Samaras
Tom
are gonna
will-
do what?
you,
Where?
I, and Kevin Dismaris.
Did that,
Do the rest of it.
did that remote thing pass so I can do it from home?
No.
No.
Okay. All right. Old business.
Yes, Sunday, 9 AM.
9 AM on the 20th. Now I got
Okay,
it. Now I got it.
ongoing projects at Town Hall.
Oh.
There's some painting of walls, more specifically, the treasurer collector's office.
Thank God.
That's going to be done shortly. We're also planning on resurfacing and painting the benches.
Oh, nice.
And I got an email today, unfortunately my tablet died or I would read it to you, but it says that the basement, the heating system needs some improvement, and the recommendation is that we change it from oil to propane.
Oh, look at me.
I wanted to suggest that to you guys as a possibility. But if the tank, he's concerned about the tanks,
Who's this? Who's concerned about Scott?
Scott, yeah.
The tanks that are where, in the ground?
Does the town have a service person? Or will we contract out every time?
I don't know. You know? I guess not.
No, I believe they're in the cellar, because there's 2 fillers right on the,
Yeah, they are
on
in the
hot
cellar.
line.
Propane is pretty expensive stuff.
Conversion's not cheap either.
Yeah,
You
I was
want to
gonna
get
say,
some
the
more
conversion
information?
of it
Would
is
you like
even
more
more
information
money.
about that?
Yeah, and the condition of, are they single wall tanks, are they overhead, are they, off the bottom of the tank,
Okay.
please?
How big each tank is.
Yeah, are they standard 275s, are they 330s?
All right. Anybody else have anything else on that that you're concerned about? Anything that's not being done?
Not yet.
Also, Freetown Screw update, the Kushner Town meeting is taking place this evening, I believe. So I'll report that on tomorrow when I hear from Kevin Pecos.
We have
Yeah,
another
send you an
meeting
email.
tomorrow night, or are you gonna send us an email?
What's that? No, I just sent you an email.
I know, I'm just giving you a hard time.
Okay?
So, can I tell you a little story about the, those benches? Those
Is
brown
Mary
benches?
signing off on
Yeah.
those? Is Mary signing off on that? Make sure they're historically accurate with the repair?
The benches?
Yeah, they're 100 years old. Those are Deacon benches.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you about those benches. Long time ago, when the police station was with, you know, the room behind the assessor's office, that little, with the table, that used to be the police station. So when you arrested somebody and you brought them into the town hall, you handcuffed them to the bench.
I remember that.
And if you got a real rowdy guy, he'd be trying to drag the bench out the front door. But it was easy, you just grabbed the bench and you pulled them back. But can you imagine? And those benches are still in existence.
Have Norm Jr. sit on the bench.
All right, now, did you know senior? Or,
I was saying Junior.
Oh.
Junior had a little more staying power if he sat on the bench.
oh yeah, junior did, yes he did. And boy, he could really hit the ball.
Yeah,
Did you know his father? Senior?
Father.
Oh, senior?
he was alive when I was, but no, I know Junior. He was the chief as long as,
Yeah,
right up until Eddie, right?
yeah, because he was the chief before Eddie.
Yeah, they had that heart attack.
All right, one more thing on the agenda is to go into executive session under Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A3, to discuss strategies with respect to collective bargaining. If the meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining position of the public body, and moi, the chair, so determines that would have an that would have an effect. So, in my opinion, it would have a detrimental effect if we talked about this in open session. I don't believe this is going to be a long session, and we will not return to open session. How's that sound?
Perfect, I'll make a motion.
Second,
Motion made in second. All in favor?
All right,
Aye. Mr. Joes?
yes.
Mr. Chico?
yes.
Mr. Sadik, yes. That's it.